We're back at the line table with this week's panelists. Marisa, let me ask you this. The new Police Oversight Board is supposed to have more power to hold APD accountable to the community. They haven't officially heard any cases yet. It's hard to predict how they're going to function in the future, and Gwyneth did a good job in asking, in fact, how can we judge you folks and your effectiveness going down the road? But your reaction to what you just heard there from Leonard Waits and Joanne Fine, you know, it's a new deal. We have to give them a little bit of time. Your confidence level, given what you heard.
So the new board has subpoena power, and the new board is able to look at records more than the previous board was able to. So, you know, it's definitely being set up in a way that hopefully they'll be able to
That's no small change, by the way.
Right, and it was talked about for a long time.
That's right.
With regard to the previous board, it never happened. So hopefully those kind of authorities will enable the board to do the kind of work that it needs to do.
As far as their attitude about it, meaning not that negative, bad attitude, they have a fresh attitude, it seems to me, about it that seemed very encouraging. Everyone seems willing to roll up their sleeves and really get after it. That's a little bit different than what we had last time around, which was a ton of frustration and some folks almost a giving up sort of an attitude in some ways. Well, did you sense a change as well?
At the end, you know, people on the Police Oversight Commission were resigning, and, and we're finished with it because they were not given, they thought, the authority that they needed to really do the kind of job that they wanted to do.
That's right.
And it put them in an uncomfortable position because they're in the middle of, you know, kind of a crazy time in Albuquerque, and they were not able to do what they needed to do. So I think that's the hope with the new board, right? Is that they'll have some of the authority and some of the power to get in there and look at those complaints and make good calls about them.
That's right. Dan, it takes two to tango on this kind of a thing. Police officers and police unions and a lot of police things are not crazy about oversight boards. It's just a natural friction there. It seems like we're entering a new era in this, though. Something has to be accountable and getting a community voice into this process. You feel comfortable with what you've heard so far?
Well, yeah, I think there needs to be more oversight. You know, I think it's not, I mean, whether it's Albuquerque or across the nation, you know, this thin blue line or this thin blue veil, whatever you hear talk about, this will take care of our own, isn't working. It isn't happening. You know, I think having the ability to have a fresh set of eyes say, you know, we don't think you handled this correctly is important. I think that making sure the right people are on there, you know, that have the ability to ask the right questions and do the right things. I would like to see, and I think we're moving in that direction, this Police Oversight Board could be a template that other communities implement, and I think it needs to be done correctly. I think it needs to be a very serious organization. I think they're moving in that direction. But, you know, nobody wants oversight. The legislature doesn't want oversight. Elected officials don't want oversight. Business owners don't want oversight. Union, nobody wants, because everybody thinks that they're going to do the right job. The fact of the matter is, you are a public servant as a police officer. Whether you like it or not, as a public servant, just like an elected official, you are beholden to your boss, who is the public. The public has to have oversight over you.
Russell, interesting little anecdote that recently came up when that was the recently reported video of the APD officer hitting that guy in his SUV, the suspect with a truck, and KRQE had to sue to get that video. What does that say to you about where we are in transparency moving forward now, being able to get stuff out of APD? Because that seemed to me would have been an immediate thing to release given what we've got going on.
Sure, it's a culture thing. You know, when all of us are demanding a video, they release the video. When it's just one outlet that says, well, you know, maybe we can wait this out. No, you just release the video. Because nothing says my bad better than it's our fault, here it is.
That's right.
Right? I think
builds trust.
Yeah, it builds trust. You can say, here it is, here's our response, this is what we can tell you, that's it. Because if you hold back, it's always the cover-up is worse than the crime. Because then now you're defending why you held it for so long. And you kept it under wraps. If you just release it, put it out there, you can argue later, you can mount a defense, just put it out there and wait for later. If you hold back, the trust issue is where you get damaged. And I think that's not only just a communication strategy, but it's also a public trust strategy.
Exactly right. Just pick up on that if you would. That's an interesting idea, that the public trust thing.
Well, I think sort of tying a little bit of this together, one of the challenges that this oversight board really faces is an APD that does not have the habit of releasing information easily, does not have the habit of cooperating with an oversight board, cooperating with civilians. And so no matter how good this board ends up being, they still are reliant on the city and on APD to do their part. And at this point, it's hard to say, we're so fresh in the process, whether APD is going to participate in a positive and meaningful way. But the signs are not great right now. The signs are not great.
Interesting to hear you say that, because the first time there's a roadblock, it's all well and good now. People come in, they're all enthusiastic and ready to go. But the first time there's a problem, we're going to see what this is going to be made of, if the system's going to work or not. You know what I mean? There's an interesting thing there. It's all theory at this point. In fact, I'm thinking back to the stuff you've reported on families, Marisa DeMarco, that have been affected by APD. Even getting access to documents, even getting, for those families, it was a huge difficulty for folks. And you know what I mean? So that kind of thing really has to go hand in hand, it seems to me. Your sense of that as well for
Yeah,
the
historically
public.
there's been a big disparity in what different people are receiving when they request documents and videos from APD. And you know, some citizens request things, they don't get it. Sometimes the news organizations request and they do or don't get it, or they get parts of it, they get it in piecemeal, and that's definitely something that needs to be overhauled for sure if APD wants to restore public trust.
What, in your opinion, Marisa DeMarco, what could be the very best thing that this new board could do to really create some public trust that didn't happen before? Understanding that the previous version was really quite hamstrung by the system they were trying to work under. What's the best thing they could do right now to
I
build
think being
confidence?
completely transparent about everything that they're doing, making sure that all of their decisions and all of their processes happen completely in the light, and advocating for things like making sure that there's good body cam policies, making sure that there's good public records policies. All of that stuff is work that board can do.
Is this a watchdog group? Is their task, we're under a minute here, but to let nothing slip, let nothing go by at all?
I think they've got to be very vigilant. But I also want to say, and I hate to throw this out with just a minute left, I think there also has to be buy-in from the media in New Mexico.
Okay.
I think that, you know, if the media wants to see this stuff fixed, which I think they do, we can't have gotcha journalism. They've got to be very responsible in saying, this doesn't tell the story. We're not going to run the tape that we only got 2 seconds of, a 2-minute tape. They've got to try to clean that up. And I think that's got to go hand in hand with fixing this, because that trust has to go both ways. The police department has to know that when they release stuff to the media, that the media is going to be vigilant to make sure, you know, we're going to get the real story out there, not create a
But I think
story.
the important thing is that APD the city needs to understand that the real story may not be the story they like. And so,
I agree with that.
all too often I think what we hear is, I was misquoted, that was taken out of context. No, you weren't, and it wasn't. You just didn't like the way it looked.
And the way
I just
APD, go ahead, please,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry, I just want to jump in and say that I don't think the media has had to make up any story about APD. There's plenty of story there to report on.
Right. Interesting. Thank you all for being here. Important subject. I'm glad we spent this amount of time on this tonight. Thank you all for being here.